How's it going, everybody? What we are looking at here is a cuttlefish, and this is a cephalopod, so it's a relative of the octopi and the squid, and in contrast to the squid, it's usually not schooling and it's much closer to the substrate. So why is this particular individual interesting? It is camouflaging itself in a very clever way. So there is this ball of seaweed behind it, and it sees that seaweed. Now, what I have projected in the inset is the brain of such a sepia. And this is a complex brain with multiple lobes, and particularly the optic lobe, which is the big structure on the bottom left, which is essentially cut in half in that drawing. That's the optic lobe. So these are very visual animals. Who else are very visual animals? Humans. So while they are not related to us at all, they are mollusks, we are mammals, nevertheless we share a focus on the same sense, which is the visual sense, and they're very good at visually camouflaging themselves. So this one stayed very close to this ball of algae. These are my friends Finn and Chris in the background, and so it stayed very close to this ball of algae, and it's matched it with its pattern, with its color, and it moved its arms in a way that really matched this seaweed here. So this is something which is not possibly completely innate, right? This animal would have seen that bunch of algae and would then have decided, well, this is something which I can mimic. I can match the color of this. I can change the position of my arms so that they look a little bit like these pieces of algae here, and I will not be seen. Now, this erect arm posture, though, that is also a aggressive posture. So I'm absolutely sure this animal saw me. Well, I'm several times bigger, obviously an order of magnitude bigger than it, and I had this video light, and this, while I believe that the posture and the texture of the arm was partially there to mimic that ball of algae, I also think that this is essentially, get away. Now, what we can see here is the siphon, so there is a breathing movement. So again, this is evolutionarily completely unrelated to humans, but we also move our diaphragm when we breathe, and at the same time these sepia, they move the siphon which enters the paracavity to the mantle where the gills are. So they actively pump water in and out. Why do they do that? Well, they have large brains, they're very clever animals, they're metabolically very active, and that all needs energy, that all needs oxygen, so they need to breathe quickly. Fascinating class of animals, these cephalopods. An encounter with these is really quite different from just seeing some kind of eel or seeing a nudibranch, crab or other critter. This is much closer to cognitive, this is much closer in intelligence to essentially a vertebrate, a hamster or a bird, and these are often called honorary vertebrates because of their large brains, of their fast metabolism. There is a big difference, though, between these and vertebrates, is that they are semilopause, which means they typically grow very fast, and then they mate once, and then they die, and that's it. So this is not the strategy used by vertebrates. This is a different cephalopod, and this was actually during the same dive. What this is an algae octopus. So it's in this warning coloration here, which is red, and previously you saw it in this brownish coloration where it essentially mimics one of these rocks of algae here in that dive site, which one of these muck diving sites in Dauin. So here it's going back to pretending to be an algae covered rock. Amazing stuff as usual. no dive in Dauin disappoints, basically, if you have patience and if you know where to look. As usual, like, subscribe, send me fan mail, share these videos on your social media. That gives me the chance to make more of them. I hope you enjoy them, and see you next time.